Hi there and welcome to Story Time with Uncle Bill. I'm Uncle Bill and today's story is the last fight I was in. A lot of things that I will talk about, the stories I tell, I'm not really proud of, I'm not bragging about. It's just what happened. A lot of the circumstances I didn't want to be in, and sometimes you got to do what it is you got to do. But it seems like wherever there's been a crowd and I've had a chance to shine, I ain't missed a moment. And so the last fight I was in Mississippi, Gulfport. Katrina hit down there, and like 4 months afterwards, my parents had introduced me to one of their friends who had in somebody that was in the real estate business down there, and because of the work I do, I could go down there and make anywhere between $1,500 and $2,500 a week. And at the time, I was probably making like $500-600. So it would have been a big jump in money. And I'm always willing to go somewhere, And so I was like, yeah, let's do that. Well, it was a shit sandwich from the beginning. I took a bus all the way down there, and luckily my brother was down there. Because his wife was in the Coast Guard, and I ended up staying with them for like 3 weeks. It was horrible. Not staying with them, but I was supposed to be working that whole time, and I was just like a third wheel, unproductive as hell. Like the best thing I did is I caught the biggest box turtle I'd ever caught in my life, but as far as working, I didn't do nothing. And if you're not really familiar what Katrina did down there to Mississippi and Louisiana, I mean, it was awe-inspiring to see whole buildings and just not houses not there. Unfathomable is the word that I think of. You just can't imagine it. Just trees made it. But so the first couple of weeks down there, and it's already the area got hit hard. There was no hope. There wasn't like no Lowe's or Walmart or anything to help rebuild. Those places were gone too. There was, they was relying on outside help. If you had anything there, it was gone. The place that I ended up going to, Tea Garden Apartments, it's a stone's throw away from the ocean. The Gulf, they call it the Gulf. They was really particular about that too. And I mean, you can see it, and then you got to imagine 20 feet over your head, and that's how much water was there. And we stayed in the second floor, and it was all sheetrock everywhere. People had found a bunch of beer, and I mean, everything was wiped out. So like there was everything. You could find a body in the street. It was bad. I had got there right as the National Guard had pulled out, so there was things going forward. There just wasn't anything, but there was I could throw anything, a bowling ball, and hit this bar that was right next to the apartments we were in. And these apartments, they were just beat up. That's why we get to stay there for free. But they did have electricity, but everything was nasty. You had to rip it out, but it was okay. It was livable. And that bar, and I never really drank because I'm not in control when I drink, and I'm not bad when I drink. You can't drive. There's a lot of things I like to do that you can't drink inside. I always avoided it as much as I could, and because of that, and when you hang out at a bar, because I was just hanging out because they was there, people noticed that, like, oh, you had a bar and you don't drink. You want to be security? And I was like, yeah, I'd be security, and it didn't really pay shit. It didn't pay much at all. And the ironic thing was, when I did hook up with these guys, they didn't work too much. I think I was with them for like 3 weeks and only worked like 3 days. And I was begging, hey, they work. Nah, they would rather drink and do other things. So, and this bar was you can't make no living. Thank God I didn't have a vehicle, and the rent was free. So, but I met a lot of people, and I ended up meeting this dude from South Carolina who had this little entourage with him. They did mold, and if you watch it, You know what's up. Tell the world. All the stories I'll tell, there's a whole bunch of people. Big Jason from Georgia, Wild Bill from Georgia, y'all were there. Jimmy Palmer, you were there. So I ended up being security at this bar, and it just so happened that the guy was like, look man, I like your style and everything. How about every Friday I break you off and you make sure nothing happens to me and my homeboys. And he had like 5 or 6 dudes, like 4 white dudes and 2 black dudes, but they were younger guys. Probably nobody was over 20 years old, and they didn't look like they was ready to go. It was a group, you know? And I was like, look man, I get paid for this anyway, you don't have to break me off nothing. And he goes, yeah, don't worry about it, just make sure nothing happens, and we'll see what happens Friday. So nothing happened, of course, and every Friday he would break me off. He'd give me a little bit of money, like $100, might give me some coke or some pills or some pot. It was always something. And nothing. And then one day I went to work, and I just went having a good dress day. I had these pants, but they were too big, and I couldn't find my belt. I think somebody took it. So I had to get like a piece of rope, and I tied it around, and that was my belt. And I couldn't find my boots. So I had these Tommy Hilfiger loafers on. It wasn't what I would normally wear to run security at and this place was jumping too. It was small, had a couple pool tables in the back, a little jukebox. It wasn't a real big place, real dim. It was a good bar. At this time, I was dating the bartender, and I decided to have a couple Long Island iced teas. Like 3 of them, and anybody that knows me knows that I'm not a social drinker. If I'm going to drink, I'm going to get right. And there was a couple extra guys. I had a couple extra guys running security. It was like a Saturday night, so it wasn't. And nothing, there was a couple brawls that had happened the whole time I was there, and they just eventually pushed themselves out. I didn't really have anything to do with it. Other than that, nothing really happened up to this point. So I got a good buzz, man. I got a good buzz. My old lady, the bartender, good buzz, free. And so I'm sitting at the bar and I was just feeling good. And all of a sudden, the dudes come up, and they was like, yo, I think the dude's name was Sean, but I could be wrong. They was like, yo, man, Sean needs you, somebody got him. My very first thought was, what were y'all doing? I mean, there's like literally 5 or 6 of these dudes. If it was my friends, we never came and got me, we would have stomped somebody's. We would have never happened like that. So anyway, I run over. It's not that far, but I was all out of breath because I smoked 2-3 packs of cigarettes every day and reefer, and I had an alcohol buzz. And it had been months since I had alcohol buzz. I only do it a couple times a year. This wasn't even a special occasion. It just, what the hell, just boredom down there. And I get to where Sean was at, because he didn't stay at those apartments, and he was at the apartments I was at, just right there. You had to just go right on the fence. And he had this gash, a perfect L-shaped gash on his face. And it was kind of like puffy too, you know, swollen. I was like, damn dog, what the hell happened to you? And he was like, yo man, this damn Mexican came out of nowhere and hit me with this beer bottle. I said, and then what happened? He said, we let him walk away. Oh. I said, well, what you want to do about it, man? What you want to do about it? Where's the dude at? And he was like, oh, he's over there. Well, where he was pouring was across the street, and it was black. I mean, well, it was pitch black. Now, it's probably about 11, 12:30 at night or in the morning. And this it's a big open parking lot. There was something there before, but now there was just like one little building left, and this great big open parking lot, and there was the road going this way and the T section up that way, and he was in the parking lot before the T section and talking shit. Right, he was a Spanish guy. I don't know what kind of Spanish, but all he was speaking was Spanish. And I was like, well, what you want to do? Now, mind you, when I had ran out, the people that stayed in the apartments when they came out too. So there was probably 10, 15 people. It was a lot. It was a little group of people that was all out there behind me, and I wasn't talking to this dude, and he was like, and he had been drinking, and he probably took some Xanax and some other pills, and was doing coke all night or something, and he really looked like he was ready to go. He didn't look like he was trained to go. I mean, no offense, but he paid me for nothing, you know. But he was a good dude, and I was going to fulfill my obligation. I was obligated to him, and so we're walking over there together, and I had to turn around a couple of times to see what was going on behind me, and that group was following us. So we're coming over to the Spanish dude, and the dude was like, look, I'm going to fight him one-on-one, but I'm kind of really messed up, so if he gets the better of me, go ahead and get him off. I said, you ain't got nothing to worry about. If that's what you want to happen, that's what's going to happen. We get probably within 100 feet. This is still a good distance away, but we're closing in. And this guy just appears out of nowhere, man. Just like, yo, y'all ain't about to jump this dude. And I didn't give a shit about one dude. I took both of them on. But the way this dude just came out of nowhere, because there wasn't like a car or a pole or anything he could have hid behind. And I thought I was a little bit more alert than that, but he just, materialized out of nowhere. And he's like, yeah, man, make this shit one-on-one, make this shit one-on-one. And I was like, yeah, yeah, we can make that happen. So he was like, yo, who's fighting for you? So I looked over, and I was going to ask dude if he's sure he wanted to do this, and there wasn't nobody there. So I turned around, and everybody's kind of like taking a step back and shit, so it was just me. And I had on a security shirt, you know, the yellow shirt that says black security on it. And he goes, okay, security, I guess it's you and Vato here. And so the dude came at me, and like I can't really see good, and I had some glasses on, and they weren't the right prescription. They did help me see better, but they didn't help that much. But he came, man, and he was swinging. I was trying to give him the warning. I give warnings now. I was like, look, dude, don't put your hands on it, because I didn't necessarily want to fight the dude, but I had to do something, because now I had to do something. So he's swinging, but I started ducking him because he was telegraphing. He was throwing big hooks, you know, and I duck, and my friends are behind me laughing. They're like, hey, look at dude, man, he's over here ducking this shit. Duck his ass out, man. What's all that ducking shit? Look at you ducking. Well, I ducked and ducked and ducked, and I kept telling them, don't put your hands on me. When you put your hands on me, it's over. I seen it coming. I had ducked on one side, and it was just a big loop, and I couldn't avoid it. I knew I couldn't avoid it. And so I turned with it, and he hit my glasses. Launched them straight off my face, like they were shot out of a cannon. Bam! But the problem was he was in way too close, and I just, bam! I hit him straight up with an uppercut. He went straight up in the air, and as he went up in the air, this is all one motion. This shit happened really fast. When he was up in the air, I grabbed the back of his shirt, and I hit his chest and drove him to the ground, and at the same time jumped in the air. And what I was gonna do was try to land my knees right here on your shoulder. It makes your arms, you just can't move your arms. It's just not cool. And I missed, and I missed. And we're in a parking lot, we're in an asphalt parking lot. I just 280 pounds with everything I had straight on my knees. It hurt. It hurt for, this fight would leave me hurt for about a week. It was devastating on me. And it's the same year Katrina hit, so I don't know when that was. I don't know. I can't remember now. But I got him on the ground and I full mounted him. I put my knees on his shoulders and I grabbed his arms and I put my hands on his wrists and I was like, look, dude, you got no wins. It's over. I'm gonna let you go. You get up and leave. If you put your hands on me, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's all to that. And I already know he's gonna hit me. It's just what it is. So I let go of one hand, and sure enough, I caught one in the ribs, and I put his arm back down there, and I hit him with a couple. I told you not to put your hands on me, man. And got back on there. And mind you, my friends, and there's a crowd of them now. Kill him, kill him, kill him. Amazing how a crowd gets around and what they chant, you know. But that wasn't on my mind. That wasn't on my mind at all. This dude ain't got no wins. I'm as far as I'm concerned, this is over. And now I want to get away and not have you touch me again. So I told him, put him back down, and I was like, listen, man, don't put your hands on me again. When you put your hands on me again, I'm gonna tee off on you now. And probably the reality was maybe he didn't know no English. I don't know. Maybe he was drunk too. I never really even thought to look or ask. I never seen this dude in my whole life. But all those are excuses. You was trying to hit me, and you did hit me, and you knocked my glasses off. And I'm just not gonna let you. Shouldn't want to do that again. But I know he is, and he does. I moved my hand, and when he hit me again, this one hurt, and it was the third time I told him not to put his hands on me, and I snapped. And I grabbed his head this time, and I just told you not to fucking put your guard, and I just started pounding his head in that asphalt. And it's gonna get kind of graphic here. It is what it is. It's a long time ago, but you can see the blood coming from around the head. It wasn't because I had stopped. I couldn't tell you how many times I did it. 5, 10. I mean, I called 911, told them a story, and they took him away. Nothing ever happened of it. I never seen anything in the paper, but it was like 5 days later. There was nobody in the bar, and my girlfriend had a day off, and we were just up there because it was a new girl training, and we were seeing how she was doing. There was absolutely nobody in the bar, and it was early too. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We didn't really start getting pumped about 9, but it was a group 7, 8, 9. Hispanics that came in, and one of them had like a turban on his head, and they went straight to the back, and I was like, oh shit, that's got to be that dude. There's no way in hell this is a coincidence. Because I had never seen him. If he came to me right now, if he came to me right then, I wouldn't have known who this dude was. I didn't have anything against him. He just at the wrong place at the wrong time, messing with the wrong dude. And so I'm thinking that's him. I'm pretty sure it was. There wasn't a verification. Other than I was sitting at this table and two of the bigger dudes that came in, which to me really didn't present a problem, because I knew the two women were packing. I don't carry guns. I'm a convicted felon. They'll give me a lot of time for that, and I don't need to. I really prefer fighting. Nobody does anymore, but they came up and they was like, yo, Vato, hey, big old man, you like Muhammad Ali and shit, yo, man, You a bad dude, man. I was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, dog. No, I ain't even into fighting like that. Nah, man, we seen you, man, we seen you. I had this, it was like a piece of aluminum, but it might be some kind of military thing, I don't know. But it had like a cone, and then it had a hand grip to it. It was just like a point. And it felt real good in my hand, and that's what I would pull as a weapon if you had a gun. I was dead, and you never saw it anyway because it would only stuck out so far, and all the rest of it was in your hand. So it would look like just my fist, but it was a whole lot more behind it. I could stick it through about 1.5 inch piece of sheetrock with no problem. So it would go through a skull like nothing, and that's what I ended up pulling out because these dudes. It was up to no good. And they should have got the point because I got their friend over there wrapped up, you know what I mean? And they did the right thing that they left. I was a nervous wreck. You never know what people would do in retaliation or something. As like I said, I really didn't have anything against this dude, and it was a one-on-one, the fairest fight that you could have. But when you have a fight like that, and with so many people seeing it, because the whole process took so long that there was a whole lot more people than just my friends. So believe that they may even talk about it now, because the amount of blood on the back of his head was kind of like, it was scary, because I had never seen it. But that's, he got around. It's like, man, you don't want to mess with that dude. He's way crazy. And it's not even about being crazy. I mean, it's being a man of your word and sticking up for your principles and stuff. I really don't condone violence, but I'm quick to go. And I've had a lot of encounters, and a bunch of them, to be honest with you, I provoked. Even some recently within this month. I was hoping by now I'm 43 that, you know, that piss and vinegar you're supposed to have when you're young is gone, but when I believe something, I still fight, and I fight with these bare hands. Especially if it's right, because I did so much wrong, man. When you do a lot of wrong, you work really hard to do good. You should. And hopefully you could get something out of this other than a little bit of entertainment or somebody telling a story. There's always alternatives to everything. I took a Quaker's course in prison, Alternatives to Violence, and I know all the steps and still resort. It kind of really sucks because it makes you look bad, you know. I'm a really good guy, but I just can't let you get away with doing me bad. I'm gonna do unto others as you had them do unto you. I'm not going to do anything to make you think less of me, make you go outside of yourself because of me. And if you do that to me, you get what you deserve. Because I hit hard, real hard. I'll go to jail.